Lincoln Electric system, the safety of our employees, and the safety of our customers. It's National Safety Month. Visit les.com/safety for tips on all things related to electrical safety.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies, be breezy and hot with an afternoon high near 94. Tonight, showers and storms are likely. Some of those could be severe, still low near 68. And some mild showers and storms continuing throughout the day. See an afternoon high near 84. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 92.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plan for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
In dealing with the high interest rates, it's very important that you get as much bang for the buck. And that's what our Remington Homes is all about.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier and more affordable.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com. Pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, whether you want painted trim or other upgrades. Those are all options with our Remington Homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman, middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome inside the Blur Events tailgate here at 10th and Cass. It is on the block. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman, Eric Strickland with you. We are in full effect here during On the Block, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. You see that here on my right shoulder. Blends it sticks out very well, I should say, against my red polo. They got 3 Lincoln locations and 1 up here in Omaha. If you're here in Omaha for the College World Series on your way out of town, make sure you stop by 168th and Maple. And make sure you pick up some of the best meat in town. Might have just had the perfect game-saving play from Arkansas. Every game, you see a perfect game, a no-hitter, there's a play. I think Reese Robinette might have just made it. Arkansas leads 3-0 as we go to the 8th inning. Let's bring in the fellas. Jay, Strick, how we doing, gents?
What's happening?
Good.
Doing great.
Good.
Good day for
Another
it.
hot one. Good day, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this is normal for College World Series. You get a couple of these days. Hadn't seen the jacuzzi yet.
It's on the other side, my guy.
I was looking
this
for
is not a day for the jacuzzi.
It's the ice jacuzzi.
They
dump
like
ice
that.
in it. Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I might get in there.
I do wonder what their budget for ice is. Because they keep pouring it in the jacuzzi all day. And, of course, they have the cold toppings for the burgers over there.
Right.
They're dropping multiple G's on ice alone.
Oh, yeah. If you're an ice maker, you definitely coming up this week. That and Jell-O shots, right?
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Well, there's another beautiful day here, though. The setup is always great. And people coming in and out, obviously, when the game starts, it'll clear out a little bit. But food, drinks, good show here on the block. And good company. So it's all good.
We got a lot going on here at Blur. Of course, packages to get into the Blur tailgate are open through June 21st. We're here from 10 to 6. Doors open daily at 10:30. 13th annual tailgate. They have an all-inclusive bar and buffet. 18 TVs showing all the live baseball games and multiple seating options. They got couches, they got tables, they got the jacuzzi, the cold tub like they mentioned, and a hammock on the far side of things. So everything is here. They got 3 different levels of packages. Check it out online for yourself at blurevents.com/Omaha. Fellas, I want to hit a baseball trade before we hit a basketball trade in hour 2. The Boston Red Sox ship out Rafael Devers.
When we talked about it, what did I tell you? If you don't want to get in line and play the position that they so eloquently asked you to play, you will be gone.
You had multiple options to play. You said you didn't want to, move to first base after you got your spot stolen by Alex Bregman after they signed him. Reporting says, okay, yeah, they're cool, right? Rafa said, when Alex Bregman came in, he was cool. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Then Tristan Casas goes down with a knee injury. He doesn't want to play first base.
Yeah.
Which is a super easy position to play and pick up, right? That's what you do when you're at the end of your career. But he doesn't want to do that. Now he's beefing publicly with the general manager. The owner flies into Kansas City to have a conversation with him. Boston thinks it's going well. Turns out it's not. So they get out of paying $30 million a year for a guy that didn't want to be there, that, just kind of kept crossing the company line, right, Jay? Go back to your example, right? Game of Thrones. We didn't want to do it,
but
we had to do it.
He had to
send a message.
Ned Ard Stark, I got to cut your head off. Listen, give it up to Buster Posey. Buster Posey is a bona fide Hall of Fame player. Mm-hmm. Definitely going into the San Francisco Giants Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Goes straight from the diamond to the top of to the front office.
Right. Decision maker.
And is not afraid to push the needle and go all in. I like it because he's taking a corporate approach with a player mentality. And I think the reality check from you literally getting traded from one coast to the other, you're going to lose a little money, Strick, when you come to California. Versus, it's probably a little even Steven there with Boston. But I think the reality, sometimes when you talk too much, and this is where I think he didn't have a good agent / advisor interpreter. When you get in front of the camera, there's a way to articulate your point without coming out and saying it. And that when it gets on a reel, and then when the owner comes and see you, that's the last. It's like if you ever watch Game of Thrones, and it's like, it's all about survival, right? And it's like, do you want to somewhat admit that you did something you didn't do, but still have a kingdom off in the north? Yeah, it's a little cold, but guess what, Strick? We still get to eat. We'll be alive. Or the other, do you want to die with honor? Well, when you die with honor, everybody talks about you for about a couple days, and then they move on. He chose the latter. Hopefully, he can really start to focus on taking the next step in his career. It's not about production anymore for this young man. It's actually about maturing. And Some of it is a little bit of the culture change.
Yeah.
Right. As you know,
Yeah.
you play with a lot of players from the Dominican and other, and so their whole
like to be
mind,
told,
right? Their mindset's different, right? Because they're just thinking, I want to play baseball, man. You know, that's what, hey, Stricky, I want to play baseball, man. But now, this is first reality of dealing with big time sports. You are interchangeable. You're just a asset that can be traded. And the veteran guys that kind of fall in the company line, because Boston ain't going to do nothing.
Nah.
So if they were in, I'm going to ask you this, Strick. If Boston Red Sox were like the Yankees in this year, right now, where the Boston fans will tell you it's, world championship or bust. Realistically, you know this. When you pull up the spring training, we'll be happy to get into the wild card. If it was the Yankees, where it's championship or bust mentality, actions, thoughts, and all that, do you think he's still there? Because that's what you'll deal with. You'll find a way to kind of, right? Is that correct? Even in baseball,
I do believe to an extent you're absolutely right that you get to that place where there's an established order. Like let's be real. You came when the order was being established, and the expectations and the requirements and all of that, and it was set. If you didn't get in line, there was a line you can wait in.
Right there, right on Cass Street.
Right
down here at Bloor, Cass Street, catching
that's
the
how
bus.
it is. And I can honestly say, it was a different feel, like for me, from New York than it was in Vancouver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a partial way of which the asylum was run by the inmates, and so there is a component of that, Jay.
Yeah, and you know what? I think this could be a great opportunity for him, where you're going to a storied franchise, right? And I always say San Francisco back when, when they were always in the championship hunt, they would go 2 years on, 3 years gone, and 2 years back on.
It was a year in the World Series, a year off. The Giants had a run where every year Taylor Swift released an album, they were in the World Series.
Well,
otherwise, they were out of it.
Yeah, I didn't know that much, but I just know that it was every other year. Well, this is a good opportunity for him to go to I'll say, maturing franchise and really have a restart. Really gain fanfare based on him hitting home runs to McCovey Cove,
yep.
and all that. Then hopefully the maturation process starts to uptick along with his bat speed.
Yeah.
Couple funny things about that. Number one is that the Giants are currently down a first baseman, so he might have to move to first base. Would he be willing more to do it for a new organization as opposed to the Red Sox? We'll see. Jay, to your point about, you came in when the order was being established. Rafa Devers debuted in 2017. He only played 58 games. But then 2018, the next year, plays in 121 games. But that year is notable because that's the last time the Red Sox made a deal like that. 2018 is when they shipped Mookie Betts to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Didn't get really anything back, for Mookie Betts. That was a fan favorite, helped him, get to the postseason and win something of consequence in the World Series. And they shipped him out. Devers had accomplished less than that, to be fair. Mookie wasn't running his mouth at all. That was super out of left field, what the Dodgers did. The reports that I've been reading say that a guy like Rafa Devers really didn't want to be that clubhouse leader. He wanted to show up, play baseball, and go home, which okay, fine, more power to you. But the sources were saying outside of the public comments, he had kind of grown into that leadership role. But if you look at the Red Sox, from 2018 when they shipped Mookie Betts out through now, they've been looking for that next guy to hang their franchise hopes on. They thought they had in Rafael Devers. He starts yapping. And the last thing, Strike, before I'll throw it to you here, a lot of people online have said, well, this is like the most shocking trade since the Luka Doncic trade. It's similar but different, right? Two guys whose franchises I think were more at odds with them than anything. But Luka wasn't talking.
Yeah.
Luka wasn't running his mouth. They're certainly concerned that both Rafael Devers and Luka Doncic won't age the best. But as shocking as this trade is for the Red Sox, it still doesn't reach the magnitude of Luka. That was completely out of left field. This one you could at least, maybe squint and see it coming.
I think Luka got woken up in the middle of the night, say he got to catch a flight.
Shoot, just like the GMs and the whole staff for Orlando, as well as Memphis.
Right.
You're out there with the kids playing.
Right, you're on the lake. Happy Father's Day.
Right.
Hey, happy Father's Day.
Get off the pontoon and then head into the office.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely is a wild situation, but it's not ultimately a wild situation. Again, let's look at it from a standpoint of reset.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully there'll be your older generations, those who have been there before, that have a connection that he maybe looked up to, can kind of surround him and help him to understand the professionalism of it. And because you can actually kill yourself. Pause. Not in a literal sense, but you can hurt
career-wise.
yourself.
I want to ask you that, Strick, because you got to think maybe I want to ask you this baseball-wise, and we've seen it basketball and football-wise. You had it because I knew David Ortiz when he was with the Minnesota Twins. Just wanted an opportunity, went to Boston.
Took steroids, was named on the Mitchell Report.
Yeah, okay. But still had to kind of didn't play much, then he started to take off. But here, do you think a little bit of being compared to David Ortiz, obviously from, Latin descent, and the leader that David Ortiz kind of grew into, they were maybe expecting. So now you're up there. I always say this about LeBron and Jordan or anybody else that comes up and they're up to that initial apex.
Yeah.
You're trying to go against a book that is the bestseller that keeps getting better every single year, and it's not going to change. It just gets better. Versus where the chapters are still written in their career. Do you think that was part of the thing where he's judged? But then also, do you think it's a huge mistake on his part not to connect with a David Ortiz and some of those guys that are homegrown Boston guys to be that next leader? Because when you think about San Francisco Giants, guys that are in our age that we know, nobody has that connection with Latin descent. It's Buster Posey, Barry Bonds, who now they've welcomed back. And that's about it. What is Madison Bumgarner? He's off in Missouri hunting, so he ain't coming back. So now you go from one coast that's,
it's a different
culture in Boston, big Latino community and culture, to San Francisco, which is more of a melting pot. But you don't have anybody in the clubhouse sitting there and being able to talk the language that's done it before.
Yeah.
Do you think that could affect it too?
It can. But it can work two ways, right? I think one of those ways can be you get in there. If you continue with the behavior, there can be an isolation.
Sure, right, just over there.
Yeah, you just off on your own.
Yeah.
I'll be sure you're gonna get off on your own.
Yeah,
you be off on your own.
Yep.
And that's the one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to be isolated in the clubhouse. You want to get in. Humble yourself. So take this as an opportunity to kind of humble yourself, get in there, learn the lesson on what's just happened in your sphere, and then grow out of it.
Yeah.
That's what you're hoping comes forth out of this whole situation.
You don't want it to be like in the movie Major League where the third baseman wouldn't dive for a ball and get dirty. He's actually, I think if on his flight, I'm sure he's there now, you would like to say, listen, what I want the first 2 or 3 weeks there, I want you to do something that you've never done before. Something that's like more of a common behavior. Befriend somebody that's a little bit, lower on the totem pole in the locker room. The reason why that's so important, and I talk about NFL locker rooms. You know this in NBA locker rooms. You know this, right? And we've been the same type of players where you go to a team, you got it. What the first thing you do, you pick the biggest and baddest dude. I'm going to go attack him. Baseball's a little different. It's an old school mentality. So when you come here, all these guys have heard about him through different channels, through their agents, players in Boston, reading stuff on the internet. Now you got it. Now you got to debunk all those assumptions right off the get-go. Then you capture the locker room, right?
Yeah.
Right? Then you'll be able to come in, and I'm not sure if he's Puerto Rican or not. I remember Tony Ortiz, we'd be hitting it, so in the locker room. Then he can take over the locker room. But if he tries to transport himself with the same mentality, same stuff coming out of his mouth, and they're going to watch him like a hawk in the first 2 weeks, especially the first road game.
Yeah.
Do you go out to eat with guys? Right?
Yeah.
Strick talk about how important it is. Do you pick up the tab? You're probably the highest paid guy on the roster, right?
Yeah.
Do you pick up the tab? Do you invite guys to come out? Is it only the guys
an entitlement? You have an entitlement mentality.
And is it everybody?
Yeah.
Everybody, even the guys that are just catching BP and all that. He's got to do something else. So if he does, you go to another storied franchise, and you could really elevate yourself, maybe even higher, out of the shadows of David Ortiz out there in Boston to your own shadows coming over at the Latino descent into San Francisco.
Yeah, I think there sometimes can be a misnomer and misunderstanding of performance means leadership.
Yeah, not true.
That's not true. There's so much more that comes with being a performer as well. There's so much more than just the span of time that you're going to spend in the sport. There's means by which you don't want to burn bridges because you have a small window. And so really the way that you handle yourself in this moment, the growth, the maturity, all of that can actually lead to a longer, a lot more opportunities for you and a longer span of business that can work.
Especially those last 4 years of your career, right? Where you're just trying to hang on, get picked up. And
Yeah.
especially for a guy like Rafa Devers, who's not got the best body composition, who's not the best athlete, who all his value is tied up in his bat. If that's all he's going to be, he's going to fall off a cliff a lot before, another player.
Similar to like CC Sabathia, right?
Right.
In a
Sure.
way.
Sure.
Boom, you have a
Yeah.
good hit. Now, I'm not saying his mentality or behavior was wrong.
But even like Miguel Cabrera, right?
Yeah.
That first guy, not a great
Yeah.
athlete. By the end of his career, that contract was really bad.
Yeah.
Just because he didn't age that well. Now, that is not knocking anything Miguel Cabrera did, most of it to the Royals, unfortunately, in his career. But if you are that good veteran locker room presence, you'll buy yourself another couple extra years of money, another chance to look at your legacy. Hey, look what he did to motivate, inspire this young team to reach the postseason or win a World Series, something like that.
Your Udonis Haslams, your Juwan Howards, your Jock Vaughns, your Rick Brunsons, those guys that literally can hang around for a lot more time. Is it a little bit different in football?
No,
Jay,
it's the same exact thing. You see a lot of guys that extend their career based on what they do in the locker room. You think of like a Mike Vrabel in the sense of being able to go to Kansas City based on him being able to show Scott Fujita and those guys how to be a professional. Willie McGinnis, when he went to Cleveland. It's all about what you do to last past when your cleats are hung up or your bat's hung up or whatever. And there's no better example than the guy that traded for him. Buster Posey was a great player, great catcher, right? And had a couple magical years. He'll probably go in the Hall of Fame. But when you think about the San Francisco Giants, you probably think maybe Jeff Kent, right, towards the end, and Barry Bonds. And then obviously Madison. Yeah, and those are guys. I mean, yes, but I'm talking about in his tenure.
In that tenure,
Right?
Yeah.
But now, where did Buster Posey go? Upstairs.
Front office.
Based on what?
Right away.
Right.
Based on, right there.
Right. So he has a great opportunity to do some magical things. And so as long as he gets – look, the first couple 48 hours, you're going to be jammed up. And then after that, you got to let it go.
Last thing before we get to break. The first magical thing, I put in air quotes, that Rafa Devers could do would be to hit 30 home runs for the San Francisco Giants. I'll give you guys each one guess. Who's the last player to hit 30 home runs for the Giants in a single season?
Barry
Bonds. Back in 2004.
Yeah.
That's the last time anyone's hit 30 home runs as a member of the San Francisco Giants.
In a home run park, too.
No, not really, because it's right there on the bay, wind's blowing in. It's
but,
really
I mean, what I mean in a home run park in the sense of what do you see afterwards? I guess in the perception, it's a home run park. What do you see? People diving in the water. That's what I meant.
It's really cool to hit a home run there. Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll see. That's Rafa Devers getting traded. You brought it up as well. Desmond Bain gets traded. Let's keep the trade conversation going here in hour number one. Some NBA free agency and Husker football in hour two. Strick, Jay, Austin, it's On the Block live from Blur here in Omaha.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts. Pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher, and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes tickets to Michigan or USC, plus Akron or Houston Christian, and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red!
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Safety is always at the top of mind at Lincoln Electric System. The safety of our employees and the safety of our customers. It's National Safety Month. Visit les.com/safety for tips on all things related to electrical safety.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com. Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We're back to On the Block, live from Blur Tailgate here at 10th and Cass in Omaha. Don't forget blurevents.com/Omaha. More trade news this time in the NBA instead of MLB. The Grizzlies get Desmond Bane for a couple players, 4 picks, and a pick swap. Eric Strickland, your reaction to the trade for the Orlando Magic and the Memphis Grizzlies?
Again, we spoke about it initially. That's wild. I can't say that I've ever heard, we understand playing on maybe New Year's or playing on a Christmas day and, different things like that. But getting traded on Father's Day is diabolical. I mean, look, now, there's a true understanding now that Father's Day means nothing in the eyes of everybody, because it would have never happened on Mother's Day, never. They would have never traded Caitlin Clark or anybody on a Mother's Day.
Bird or
Never.
somebody like that. That ain't happening.
So yeah, man, it's kind of wild. But listen, that's one of the areas in where they were very deficient.
Mm-hmm.
They were very deficient in shooting. He's one of the best to do it in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also very cerebral. He's also a good in locker room guy. He's a good teammate. He'll fit in very well with that group. And I think I can understand why they did it. Maybe not the time they did it, but why. He's stuck on a long contract.
Mm-hmm. 4 and 163 left.
Orlando wanted to dump. They needed to dump a bad contract.
Pope,
KCP.
right?
Here is why. Sometimes having assets, I know they didn't want to do it, but they needed to dump a bad contract. Now everybody's side-eyeing Dallas again. Like you think that you got out of the, you kind of passed over that, you got out of it. Boom, you get the first pick in the draft. You think you get, now everybody's side-eyeing you again because they're looking at the overhaul that they were able to get. Memphis was in picks, three unprotected, one swap. And you dump the contract, you're going to get the player that you feel is going to help you. Mm-hmm. And then you're able to get a lot of that guard heaviness away as well, moving, some of those guards out the mix as well. So I think they've got a pretty good lineup. Obviously, it's a move for them that they think in the East that's gonna put them in a good place to make a move at getting to the conference finals or getting to the finals.
The way I view this trade is it kind of feels like he's going to be the Jamal Murray to Banchero's Jokic.
Yeah.
Not exactly right. I know Jokic is a true center. Banchero's a 3 or a 4, and then Franz Wagner in the front court as well. But that's the kind of guy that I see Desmond Bane being. Pretty consistent outside shooter. Not a point guard, but can initiate and can handle. I think Bane's a better defender than Murray is right now, so that'll fit into what it is Orlando wants to do. And I think it is, to your point, Strick, it's a go-for-it move. With Boston down, Milwaukee weighing questions, Philly will have to see. You'd like to think that Indiana's going to be vulnerable, right?
Cleveland will probably come back, but they're still shaky.
Right. Orlando's saying, this is our guy.
This is it.
We have a window over the next 3 or 4 years, really, before Paulo gets pricey in 2 years. We're going for it now. Big contracts, but not unmovable. I like what they're doing. It fits the window.
Jay, question for you. When you look at that team and the move that they just made, right? Not player for player, but just do they look more like OKC or Indiana? When you look at them now with the move that they made, not player for player, but
I think they're a little bit more like OKC, in my opinion, because I think they're getting a lot of the flexibility. I think defensively, I think Caldwell Pope is good defensively, but when you think about adding Bane, that's 1 through 3, a small 4. It gives you shooting. It gives you an extra player because it's a locker room guy. You get Cole Anthony out, who is actually I thought a slowly but surely ascending player. He gets a fresh start, and he's not like back behind Suggs and all those other guys. I think they're trying to match OKC, and it's a copycat league. It's no different than football. When you see what OKC does, and OKC in Indiana are more similar than what people give them credit for. It's just that Indiana superstar sometimes doesn't try to be a superstar right off the get-go. But being able to be flexible defensively, young, and can wear you out with the pace and all that, I thought obviously OKC is a little bit better defensively. I think the bigger thing is it's not just Father's Day getting traded on. It's Bane's Lake House.
Yeah.
You got to think. Your boy Bridges was at Bane's Lake House when he got traded for a first-round pick in 5 last year with the Knicks. Same thing this year. Bane was at his lake house. But more importantly, whether it's Father's Day or not, it also lets you know that Memphis is continuing, which could be a franchise backbreaker, going all in on Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Now, you got Jackson. Okay. But you just paid Bane big money. You very easily could have tried to move Ja Morant to Portland or somewhere and say, okay, we're going to go with some tough guys. We're going to actually try to lift up Jaren Jackson to a, say, top 30 player, whatever he is, and then Bane could be the Rodman. The reason why I think is what I'm saying it. What Ja's done off the court, that's the perfect time to move him right now.
But that's the hardest time to move it.
I think they're going to move him. I think
His
it's not
value is
over.
low. He's
I'm
barely
with Jay.
available. He can't shoot.
They're going to move him.
There's one team
They're going to try.
Somebody's going to take it.
Listen, they've been getting calls for Ja.
Yeah.
So whether
He's
you
moving.
because his value is low to you because he's not at his apex. His value is high to other people
Because his value is low.
because his value is low. But you got to think you could get. Just say it's Portland, and I don't know the contracts. I'm just thinking just players. You could get DeAndre Ayton out of there. You could get a ascending player out of there. You could get somebody that could give Jaren Jackson some relief, or be a guy that you could just keep for a season and trade him during the trade period towards All-Star break and do that. You could go down to Atlanta, try to get one of those guys and get Ja down there. You could. This is the perfect time to move him because his behavior has been a little bit better, but it's been a little bit of turning his nose up at the NBA still, right? You've seen it last year, so you got to think. It hasn't registered with. This is the face of your franchise.
So
if you're trying to change the culture, you go from Zebo, who's Memphis tough,
Marcus All.
right, to Ja. That's not it. That's hurting the franchise. To where guys, I think that would help it.
Well, one of the things is he has 3 years left on the contract. It's a high contract, but it's not, right? It's not crazy. Its apron salary is only like $39 million. So
Okay.
it's not going to blow the doors off you. It's high. It's 25% of their cap
Of the
right
ceiling,
now.
yeah.
But if you're a team like Jay was saying, you're somebody that still values, or you need
butts in the
that,
stand.
you need
Right.
that, or you know now you need to have a conversation with them. There's got to be some things that need to be understood, but at the same time, you got 3 years with him to get that change. I think he's wore his welcome out off court and on court in Memphis, but I think a fresh start in
Right.
some instances can get him going. So the question then becomes to you, give me 2 or 3 where you think he could be a good fit if they were able to pull the trigger. No salary caps,
Yeah.
salary caps right now.
I think he needs to go to a place like Portland, somewhere where you cannot. You got. And here's why I think Portland's good.
We just banished
Jay
everyone to
always wants to
Portland.
send somebody to
Everyone-
Portland.
You misbehave, Portland. You're bad, Portland. You're good,
Here's why,
Portland.
you work your way up. Here's why Portland's good. Chauncey Billups is up there. Okay, point guard.
Okay.
So you got
I
a guy
like
that you got an OG. You got to respect a player. He knows the language. He knows it. Portland is off the beaten path. You can't be this studio gangster in Portland. All that has got to stop. So all the people that you've befriended in Memphis, that's too far for them to come to your house. That's number one. That's why I think Portland. Or you go to a mid-level team that's trying to really start over, that really needs to get butts in the stands, and you don't really necessarily need it in a place like Charlotte, but you could do a swap with even like LaMelo Ball to get a new fresh face in there. But again, I would before you even ask this, your answer, Austin, even if you have these conversations, Strick, we know guys like that. I'm gonna tell you the one thing about Ja Morant. I play with guys like this in football. You get them in there, they've been in trouble a couple times. They're gonna tell you exactly what they're gonna be the most. They're gonna be the most believable guys possible, right? Just to make sure that they're still there. Next year, I guarantee it's gonna be something else. The problem is that I see is you wait too long. His value is already going down. He's here. Okay, we can get something. You're going to bet that a guy that's chosen to go down here, that's going to jettison all the way up past it where his apex is, and then you're going to make a haul.
I think coach matters too.
Yeah.
Big time.
So I like what you said. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we need to interrupt this conversation to point out that Gage Wood just threw the third no-hitter in College World Series history. The last one, 1960. 65 years since the last no-hitter here in Omaha. Murray State, their Cinderella run to the Men's College World Series comes to an end in just 2 games. For Gage Wood, only 1 base runner. It was a hit by pitch on the foot. That close to making even bigger history than he already did. Huge for Arkansas after their starter didn't make it past the second inning, I don't believe, in the opening round against LSU. Congratulations to the Hogs. They are still alive. Heck of a season for Murray State. Let's go to break. I have one more thing I want to bring up when it comes to the Desmond Bane trade. It was a lot of picks. It was a lot of capital for Desmond Bane. What does he have to do to make it worth it? And other teams have maybe done something similar to this in the recent past. What does it mean when these, not tier one guys go for so many picks and players? We'll talk about that, answer Brad's question from the text line to wrap up hour one.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden Baked Crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
In dealing with the high interest rates, it's very important that you get as much bang for the buck. And that's what our Remington Homes is all about.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier and more affordable.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, whether you want painted trim or other upgrades. Those are all options with our Remington Homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside, and all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We're back here to On the Block, live from the Blur tailgate corner of 10th and Cass. You want a ticket to get in here, you can get your tickets at blurevents.com/Omaha. In fact, if you come, you might even be lucky enough to meet a guy who knows a thing or two about Omaha, former LSU pitcher Patrick Coogan. Patrick, welcome to On the Block. How you doing?
Man, thanks for having me here. This is unbelievable. You know, I'm part of the L Club, and so I'm helping host with some alumni here for the deal. But, like, Omaha is very special for me when, you know, I played here a bunch of years ago, actually. But it's very special to me. So to bring my family back and my young son back, it's really cool, and this Blur spot is really awesome.
It absolutely is. We love Blur, our partnership with them. Tell people about how familiar you are with Omaha and why it's so special for you.
Okay. All right. We'll get into it a little bit. So honestly, in 1990 was my first time coming to Omaha. I came as a fan. My mom and dad brought me as a fan. I was probably maybe 13, 14 years old, and just came as an LSU baseball fan. And then I was fortunate enough to come back in 96 and 97 as a player, and we had some pretty good outcomes that year. So, and I've been here one time before, you know, in between my playing days and today, and now I'm able to bring my family back. And it's really special. I mean, Father's Day, I've got a son who's actually on staff with the team, and so we spent some time with him. So on Father's Day, it's a really cool weekend.
You know, Patrick, when you look at, you know, the times when we were up and you were coming in,
yeah,
you look at the game today. You look at, especially from a pitching standpoint, the technology that they're able to have, the injuries that would happen back then that, you know, you can deal with a little bit different now. Like, what was the thing that you really took you know, your inspiration from, and then watching the growth of the sport from position players to pitching, you know, what's your take on it today?
I think that's a great question. And I think you'll agree with me on this. From a technology standpoint, I think it's shifted back to the pitchers, right? Like when I played, you know, I had a 4.5 ERA, and I was an All-American. 4.5 ERA gets you're in the portal.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gone.
Unless you're in Colorado for the Rockies.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they didn't.
One purple team knows how to win baseball games.
They didn't pick me. Yeah, but I mean, it's a great point. I mean, the way things have changed so much. I mean, the game is advanced. The coaching is so much better. It's more specialized, right? So the pitching coaches can watch the camera, and they can tell the click on a finger the RPMs, the vertical, horizontal drop, all that stuff. The hitters have that advantage. The game is so much different, but the thing I love about Omaha is you get back here and it just comes back to its purity. Like
The purity, that's
right.
good.
And so I see, moms and dads of the LSU baseball team who I've known for a long time, and they're just so overjoyed that they're getting to see their son play in the College World Series, right? And that's what it's all about. I mean, these kids, more than 70% of them will never play a day after this College World Series ends, right? And so it is such a joy to be able to see these guys compete on a level like this. And it is a high-level baseball, by the way.
Doubt.
There's no doubt. I mean, 2 years ago, Paul Skeens, who might be the best on the planet throwing a baseball, was here. Cade Anderson for LSU this year, really good. Shoot, we just watched a guy.
Mhm.
Holy cow!
Oh,
The FCC probably wouldn't allow me to say how good that guy threw today. But
Really good.
Yeah, he threw really well today. So I mean, you're seeing like top level baseball. It's a little bit different than when we played, but this is unbelievable.
Real quick, because I know Austin's our resident encyclopedia, and he's our baseball guy. So
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to let him get it. But one other thing, as you looking at the game also now, there's been that thing called the NIL
Mhm.
that has kind of found its way in it.
Yeah.
Before that came, did you see like a funneling? Like you said, the families, they've been watching it. They saying you're an LSU Tiger. Those who like yourself have played. There's kind of this funnel that goes through Tiger Nation. Is that what you've seen?
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. And let's go a little bit more broad than that, not just to LSU, but in different parts of the country, they're going right towards those, big time programs, right?
Mhm.
And I think that NIL has kind of only made that worse or better if you're a player, right?
Yeah.
You and I we didn't get paid.
Boy.
We got a couple of burgers
Yeah.
maybe for free, but I think it's it's created the haves and the have-nots,
Mm.
right? Although we say that now,
In Coastal Carolina,
Carolina, Murray State,
Yeah.
so I don't know what to make of it. I think we're gonna have to wait and see, but I think your premise is correct in saying that yes, we are kind of creating these channels to go to the bigger programs.
We're talking with Patrick Coogan, former LSU baseball pitcher, two-time College World Series champ.
Yep.
Congratulations on
Yeah,
that. Of course,
thank
you accomplished
Thank
that
you.
under Coach Skip Bertram. What was it like playing for him?
Oh, it's unbelievable. You think about the greats in the game, whether it's football, basketball, baseball. Coach Bertman is a guy, right? And he's one of those guys in the top. And he's meant so much to me. Not forget about all the baseball. What he means to me is we texted earlier this morning. He knows I'm out here. He's not in great health. He's hoping to get up here if LSU gets the championship series. But he means so much to the game of baseball, so much to LSU baseball, but especially to me and my family. He's done a lot for me. So, yeah.
What do you see similarities or differences wise between your coach and Coach Johnson today?
Ooh, there's a bunch. Well, I say that. There's a bunch, and then they're very similar. Coach Jay Johnson is a student of the game. When he got the job at LSU, he came to Baton Rouge and said he had studied Coach Bertman, from a long time when he got into the coaching profession. So it was really cool to hear him say that. And we were like, okay, we never heard of you, but all right, we got a baseline. Now we know you're one of us. So let's see what you're doing. But the game has changed so much since, the late 90s till today. It's so analytical and all these things have occurred. And, they've got to do all this video analysis. And let's be honest, when we played, there wasn't a whole lot of cameras out there. Cell phone cameras weren't around, let alone TV cameras. So there's a lot more that goes into it.
The stadiums weren't as good either.
No, they weren't. And Jay's just, he's taking it all in. He's taken that job. He appreciates where he's at. He wants to be there. He said he wouldn't leave for the Yankees. And so I think it's just he's in a good spot. he's got all the support in the world, and it's he's a natural fit for LSU.
You talk about the support, right? You're a member of the L Club.
Yeah.
You might want to rebrand to the W Club. You guys win a lot, but don't want to give you too much advice. But
I'll run that up the flagpole.
May as well. But obviously, LSU here in Nebraska has a fantastic reputation for traveling. Nebraska football fans like to think, greatest fans in the nation, college football, all of that. LSU, has clearly at least a case, if not the flag itself, for baseball fandom, especially coming up here to Omaha. Whether or not the Tigers actually make it, what makes the LSU fan base so great?
Well, I think what you said is true, but from what I've seen with the Nebraska fans, and I've been to some football games on weekends, and oh boy, y'all challenge us pretty good. They come strong. You got to love those guys. But you know what? I think, we talked about Coach Burtman earlier, and I think he ingrained, the tradition of LSU baseball into Baton Rouge and Louisiana specifically so much that everyone kind of bought in. And then once they made it to Omaha, I think the first time in 1988 or 87, once they made it, and they made it a couple more, it became a tradition just to keep on going. And look, I'm here because of Coach Burtman.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be here. I played here. My son is here. My youngest son is 8 years old. I've got a 21-year-old son who's on the staff here on the team, and so I wouldn't miss it for the world. And look, it may not show quite yet. They're probably still getting like beers somewhere, but I promise you, there's going to be a lot of purple and gold in that stadium tonight. And it really dates back to Coach Burtman and what he did and how he just streamlined the whole process and how LSU baseball has exploded underneath him. And now is, going to Coach Jay Johnson.
We are excited to see how much purple and gold fills up the Blur tailgate event. It obviously looks great on TV. We're talking with Patrick Coogan, former LSU baseball pitcher. We'll let you get back to the festivities, back to the fun. Didn't mean to put you, to work here, but we really appreciate the conversation. Patrick Coogan, thanks for stopping by.
You boys are the best, man. This is great.
We appreciate it. We'll be back with hour 2 of On the Block right after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
Awesome.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes tickets to Michigan or USC, plus Akron or Houston Christian, and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, Visit Huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside, and all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome to it. We're at hour 2 of On the Block on a Monday, a beautiful, muggy Monday, live from Blur Events. It is humid outside. I'm still sweating, but I got a fan right next to me. We are big fans of Patrick Coogan. Thanks to him for stopping by and chatting with us here during On the Block. Jay Foreman, Eric Strickland along for the ride here during On the Block as well. Jay, who is On the Block brought to you by?
Brought by Mercado, certified Piedmontese, special grades at Butcher Shop, 84th in Havelock, 30th in Yankee Hill, 85th in Old Cheney / Andromat.
And then by Stricky.
And since we're up there in the 168th in Maple / Stricky Avenue.
Stricky, what you grilling this week? I know you're a chef. Stricky, what you grilling? What you grilling?
This week I think I'm gonna throw some a New York strip on.
Ooh.
Straight out the Mercado. You know how we do it.
It's not a New York. It's a New York Stricky. New York Stricky. New York Stricky. That's
the New York Knicks, more like the New York Stricks.
New York Strickies.
I love it. Guys, one last point on the Des Bain trade before we get into some potential NBA free agents here in hour 2 of On the Block. I saw this thought from Jared Dubin, who's written for Yahoo and a couple other places, NFL at CBS right now. He says, a thing we're seeing the last few years is that teams basically just don't care how many first-round picks a deal costs to get their guy once they think they're at a certain level of contention, either before or after the deal is complete. And I think the deals he's referring to here, obviously in light of Desmond Bain, right, who's not a number 1 option, but a really solid number 2 or number 3 for Orlando. You think about Rudy Gobert being worth 5 first-round picks for Minnesota in that deal with Utah, and Mikal Bridges worth 6 picks for the New York Knicks. I just think that's such an interesting sort of theory here where, you think about, well, if that's what these quote-unquote role guys are going for, what would Luka Doncic command, or what would Giannis Antetokounmpo demand? But what we're seeing in the NBA, especially I think under the new cap rules, is when you identify your guy, you're going to go and get him. Because, yes, it's probably an overpay for Orlando, but he also might have been the best they were going to get for the role that he fills, the culture that he's going to fit into. Yeah, it's expensive, but as long as it's the right move, it's probably worth the price.
And again, that's sometimes the price you pay for bad deals, bad contracts.
Right.
In order to get out from under them.
From under KCP.
And look, that's any of us in life. There's times where we may have done something, made a bad business deal, bad decision, bad marriage. I'm just saying, you can get into, I ain't gonna put his name out there, but without no prenup. But you can get out there and do a situation, and there's a price that you might have to pay. Unfortunately, that's the price that Orlando has to pay in order to get out from under a bad situation and a bad deal. Unfortunately.
And also, I think it's indicative of the type of player
and the need also raises it.
Right. And I think also it's indicative of the type of players and the basketball players in general that are playing basketball. You're not very good.
Ooh.
Because to be honest, if you're willing to give away first round picks, that lets you know me projecting and seeing all you guys, even though you're really good on Instagram and all that stuff, you really aren't that good. You really aren't that guy. That means you're more Bennett by Cleveland versus Joker's second round pick and all so forth and so on. So you're ready to give it away. You see it in the NFL too. These trades, giving up picks, and giving up the future. Now it's also the win now mentality. Yeah. It's essentially
when you see that window open,
you got to
pick your head in.
Yeah. Well, there's an old thing there by Brian Billick. You don't just knock on the door when you go in there to the Dragon's Lair. You got to kick the door in, come in there, throwing elbows, and I can't say what else you say on there. So, but also I think the players, there's no in between anymore. It's either you are worth it or you're not. So really, to be honest with you, if you're anywhere outside of the lottery, you're like, you might as well just give those things away like candy.
Well, especially for Orlando, this is a bet that they're going to be good. They're going to reach their potential, and these are going to be back half of the first-round picks, which on the one hand is where you found Aaron Nesmith and where you found Desmond Bain. But on the other hand, a lot of teams struggle drafting in that late first-round spot. So Orlando's saying, we will take our chances that our team will be as good as we want it to be, and these picks won't be quite as valuable as other teams do.
Right. It's the salary cap. It's where you're at. It's the youth of your team. It's the leadership. It's the ownership. you feel Trump tight, where all you guys could actually be on the boat together and hang out and not try to throw somebody over the ledge, versus where you see some other teams, like Denver Nuggets.
Yeah,
you got the GM. You had a championship winning GM
Booth.
and head coach.
Calvin.
The
pigeon-toed.
No, it's not that. My grandfather always told me, rest in peace, Poppy Francis Houston Foreman.
Oh, it was destiny.
He said, never trust a brother with them crazy looking eyes. He said he'll always stab you in the back. And what he did, he tried to get Michael Malone. Malone is old school. You win a championship, and then less than 18 months later, it's not only I'm going to get rid of one of you, I'm going to get rid of both of you, and it's all set by the GM. Now Denver has Joker over there riding horses. Jamal Murray, he's at where he's at, Shotgun Willie's. Bloodline. And then now you had a team that essentially was supposed to be OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're just the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And now you have OKC that was willing to get rid of Josh Giddey, who actually went to Chicago and leveled up.
Yeah.
And he was a first round pick. Like, no, we'll be good. We're on the cusp of the NBA championship. Now Orlando is seeing blood in the water. Injuries with Celtics and big time deals essentially in the moment.
Philly with injuries.
Well, yeah, but the Celtics, you brought everybody back. You paid Pritchard. You kept everybody around. Kind of like the championship, we're going to run it back. Okay, well, that didn't work. Then you got Porzingis deciding, all right, I got a cold, I ain't going to play. So now there's blood in the water with them. Philly, Embiid in podcast P can't do anything.
No.
In Cleveland, Spider ain't tough enough.
No.
So now that's why you make the move, because you think we can keep our head above water and feel that their locker room is tougher, younger, and more skilled and will develop at a higher pace for the next 2 or 3 years. Because at the end of the day, Strick, if I'm the assistant GM, I'm gone anyways.
Right.
And if you get fired as the GM, guess who's coming to be the assistant GM?
Yeah.
You. So we just a traveling circus, and everybody else is out there trying to figure out why they paid all these guys this money.
Well, one of the things too is you got to look at blueprints.
Copycat league.
I'm still trying to ultimately figure out who Orlando is. Yes, we know they've got a solid talent in Banchero. They've got solid talent in Wagner. Suggs is coming along. But I think they're still trying to figure out a blueprint. Now, I personally think they looked at Indiana. I think they looked at Indiana and said, that's a solid blueprint for what we can do. There's a portion of us that can play great defense, but then offensively play with pace and speed. We can do some things here in Orlando. And then we start looking up the ladder of where we can put ourselves in a position to be able to compete for it. I think right now with what they built, you've got to put them in the 4 or 5 range.
Right now. So they're banking that they're going to play their way to 1 or 2.
That part.
Now,
kind of like Cleveland last year.
Right now, but here's the thing. Even though they exited they'll say earlier. Reality is this. It actually works out for them. They were able to evaluate Cleveland. They see something that's like I call it blood in the water. They think they're tougher because that's how they play. What did I say always during the season? You go down to Orlando, Strick. Some NBA players like Kyle used to tell me, and Sam Jacobson, you go to Orlando back in the day when they weren't very good. You bring the family, send them to Disney. You go down to Orlando right now, you get ran out the gym. Right. Now, if they get a little bit of toughness, you talked about identity, right, Strick?
Yeah.
Okay, it's already solved. That big trade with Bane, it lets you know what their new identity is.
Yeah.
You are going to infuse your identity throughout the whole locker room and then make Banchero, Carter, Wagner, and especially Suggs, even though he represents MPLS to the fullest, just a little bit tougher. And then they think that they're going to make a catastrophic leap and run the East, whether it's the 1, 2, 3, or possibly 4 for the next 2 or 3 years.
Definitely no play in.
Right.
Like they're saying to themselves,
it's 4 or above.
It's 4. Right. Yeah, that's their goal. No doubt. Anything less than that, I think, is a disappointment.
I tend to agree. There's a lot going on there in NBA world. Fellas, before we get to break here in 5 or 6 minutes or so, I sent you a list of some potential NBA free agents for this offseason. Number 1, LeBron James. Okay, that seems to make sense if he's going to end up opting out. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 are not in the order I would have had them. Number 2 is James Harden. Number 3, Kyrie Irving. And number 4, Fred VanVleet. If I ask you for next year, you get one of those 3 guards. Who are you taking?
Run it down to me again.
Harden, Kyrie, Fred VanVleet. Or shoot, even Josh Giddey, another point guard right after that. So of those 4, Beard, Kai, FVV, or Giddey.
For me, I don't mean to. I'll let you go. I'll go be real short.
No,
be real short. To me, it comes down to Kyrie or VanVleet. And Kyrie, I think, is situational.
For what team we talking real quick?
That's
the key. Go
but
ahead,
I'm
Jay.
telling you, this version of Kyrie is somehow he could get up with my boy LeBron James. LeBron. He ain't LeBron no more. He's LeBron James with Kyrie for a 2-year deal. I like it. Kyrie needs that like big brother, but that is willing to let Kyrie flourish. Versus VanVleet, I think he's his best year. He's maxed out. With Kyrie could be 50 years old and still give you 40 in the NBA.
Give you a bucket.
Right. So I like Kyrie. Kyrie's number 1. VanVleet and Beard is just keep him out of Houston.
That part.
Yeah.
The key for me is I like where you went because I would have said the same thing. I think also the key is the team.
Mm-hmm.
But the ranking of it though is another thing to me, right? I personally think if LeBron stays in LA, he's 1 year. I think if he goes to another place, I think he's probably 2.
And if I'm LeBron, 3. I'm gone.
You know what I mean?
And I know I know you're doing movies and all that, but you ain't winning there, right? And and also JJ is still a new coach. It'd be no different than me and you, right? We both coach AAU. If I'm LeBron James, I'm going back to Cleveland on a homeboy discount, and I'm showing Spider Mitchell, kind of like I did with Kyrie, how to win a championship, and get your boy either Mobley or what is it,
Jared Allen,
back there. So now you got your rim protector. You think maybe Mobley because of LA connection. Get Jared Allen a little bit more toughness with Spider Mitchell and all those guys with Garland. Boy, you talk about Orlando. Cleveland would be on and popping.
So my thing is this. What's going to tell you a lot, I think, about the continued longevity and the greatness of the longevity of LeBron? What's going to tell you a lot is the decision he makes.
Right.
In this, does he opt in or does he opt out and give the love?
Right.
To be able to build it.
Right.
Because it's going to require him to take the love so that they don't hit an apron that minimize their ability to get to that 14, 15 million mid-level exception.
Let me ask you this.
That's going to be the.
Let me ask you this, Strick. Now, if you as a player, I'm put you in LeBron's shoes. LeBron's shoes. You opt out, cap friendly deal, Tinseltown discount. Right?
I love it.
Right?
Tinseltown discount. Right? Okay.
And then then automatically they start talking about you, the best Lakers of all time, and all that stuff. What if they don't go and get what you need?
That's an issue. That's an issue.
Right. You got to think Stephon Diggs in Buffalo.
Right.
That's an issue.
Stephon Diggs in Buffalo.
Yeah.
He took a pay cut. Same thing because the NFL's contracts are different. For the assumption and maybe the kind of conversation, we'll go get DeAndre Hopkins. Didn't even bring him on a free agent visit. Then next thing you know, he didn't even want to go to training camp and he gone.
Now listen, I know we on this topic, but I know we got half of the segment even shorter. I need to ask Jay one question because there's a lot of buzz out here right now and not a lot of people are kind of talking, but it's kind of underneath the table a little bit. It's kind of hidden like an athlete. But anyway, some great things happen in OTAs up in Ohio, up in Cleveland.
Yeah, man. People don't want to say
round, a lot of people ain't talking. That's why I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because what's happening now is something that is absolutely unique. And this is why I want people to understand about the football part of it. Because the business part of what's happening up there is an anomaly.
Yeah.
Because a 5th rounder is just trying to make the team.
Generally.
And generally trying to make the team and is basically even trying to get on scout team.
Yeah.
But is they're getting first, second reps against twos as a fifth rounder, that tells you a lot. Not only that, the numbers that he's putting up is off the chain. So is it truly is this some, Jay, as you looking at what's going on? Talk about it, the situation first, but as you look about what's going on up there, do you see trade bait or do you see potential early opportunity to get in the game?
You see it both ways, man. I mean, look, I think I was drafted. Shador's 144,
something like that.
Yeah, I was 156. I mean, so your mentality going into training camp, like I said, and my dad told me, you pick the biggest and baddest dude, you got to really make your mark against him. Where quarterback's different, right? But as a 5th round draft pick, being the second quarterback in that draft class with Dylan Gabriel going in the 3rd round, you're not getting a lot of reps. But yeah, and people always say, well, the pads ain't on. Well, quarterbacks ain't getting hit no way.
Yeah.
So it don't matter.
Yeah.
The pads affect me, linemen, and linebackers and running back. It ain't affecting the quarterback.
Facts.
So what he's doing,
he's still gonna see what he's gonna see.
Right. And so what he's doing, he is taking over. He first thing he did, he's took over the city. Right. So now he's really debuting everything that was something cocky and all that. Then he's taking over the locker room. Then it's like, let's wait and see if he's actually good. Well, when you at this part in June, okay, in OTAs, personal workouts, or organized workouts, you know he's good. I know whether a quarterback is actually good and can play in a game by now. Now you're looking at the GM over there, assistant GM, the quarterback coach, the head coach is like, okay, when are you going to put this dude in the game? On the flip side, we're like, okay, we have a tangible asset that we can trade. That means that if you see him, there's two things, and you never know until, in this case, Jerry Jones really steps up and tries to get him, or somebody tries to get him based on how much he plays in training camp and how well he does.
In preseason.
And well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
In the preseason, because they could be getting him ready to play, or they could be getting him ready to be traded out of Cleveland. Now, I think it's a great place for him, but ultimately, look, man, whether you call it payback for Dion or payback for the social media stuff and all that. So at the end of the day, the kid can play, man. I mean, and he's better than a 5th round draft choice. So Cleveland did a really good job of getting a value pick. Now, what they do with it is up to them. Now, but the hard thing is what you do with it. Because if you make him your starter, that means you're kicking the bucket on guys next year. So this is what we talk about Bain and talk about the draft picks. You make these trades in sports or these drafts in sports based on you projecting what's coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
And so you draft 2 quarterbacks because you think in the next year or 2 afterwards, they ain't that good.
Right.
Or I think it's a great opportunity for him because you have a really good defense led by Myles Garrett, who's the defensive player of the year, and other guys. You got Denzel Ward and all those guys. And so you're always going to be in the game. I said this from the beginning. There's probably guys more talented and have more, pop. Right, Cam Ward would play at, play. If I had to pick a guy out of the draft right now that I'm in a playoff game and I got to win, it's him. He's been in a playoff game and under playoff pressure since he's been 8 years old. 8 years old. I've been there. My dad potentially should be in the Hall of Fame. Dion is one of the top 5 players to ever step foot, 6 players to step on the field to play football. He's an iconic figure. His Dion. They say Chuck Foreman versus Dion. So this kid, the pressure that he's had to deal with, that I've had to deal with, that's probably times 100, getting out there and winning is nothing.
Right.
So that's what you're seeing. You think he's afraid of competition? No. He's been competing against unknown for his whole life. Should he not been so brash? Should Dion not said what he said? Sure. And all that other stuff. But has he gotten in trouble? Is he a good kid?
Patrick Coogan, the hookup.
The hookup.
Yeah, we got to see if he got
the LSU homie hookup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Omaha 2025.
These are nice.
There you go. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you.
Two-time national champion, the 2-time national champ.
One-time T-shirt champ as well.
Yeah.
Shout out Patrick Coogan for that. So
you just got an LSU fan in me, man.
How about that? The LSU generosity knows no bounds. It's not just in the parking lot for the tailgates. It's here at Blur
They need
as
to
well.
bring some jambalaya over here.
Do they ever? Man.
Right. Yeah, you need
with some
And
good
that is not a knock on Blur schools.
all
That
that
is Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back. A little more on the block after this.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
In dealing with the high interest rates, it's very important that you get as much bang for the buck. And that's what our Remington Homes is all about.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier and more affordable.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, whether you want painted trim or other upgrades. Those are all options with our Remington Homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
A smoke-free environment is the only way to fully protect from the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's why smoke-free policies are so important to me. Whether it's in my car, apartment building, or when I'm dining outdoors, there's no place for secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosol. Breathe easier knowing the facts. Visit smokefree.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with, and we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before. And it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies, be breezy and hot with an afternoon high near 94. Tonight showers and storms are likely. Some of those could be severe, still low near 68. And tomorrow showers and storms continuing throughout the day. See an afternoon high near 84. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through June 24th are $1 off ground beef, 15% off on aprons, 15% off Cornhead beer, and buy one, get one 50% off on brats and hot dogs, limit 2. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Country music star Rodney Atkins will be performing at the Icebox on Friday, June 20th. Tickets start at $30 and doors open at 7 p.m. The capacity is only 3,000, so don't wait. Buy your tickets at LincolnStars.com today before it sells out.
A smoke-free environment is the only way to fully protect from the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's why smoke-free policies are so important to me. Whether it's in my car, apartment building, or when I'm dining outdoors, there's no place for secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosol. Breathe easier knowing the facts. Visit smokefree.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Back here on the Block 93.7, The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment of the show brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Check them out online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Free estimate, fully local team of installers, family owned and operated just in Howland, Nebraska. They're great. Shout out to the crew down there at Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Austin, Jay, and Strick are with you. Fellas, I see this on the TV in front of us. Not a huge golf guy, but I got to respect what J.J. Spaun did in winning the U.S. Open. Sunday morning, so Saturday night into Sunday morning, apparently his daughter's throwing up, just can't keep any food down. He makes a 3 a.m. run to CVS for medicine to help his daughter. Shoots, I think, was a 40 on the front nine, but gets it back just in time. A 64-foot putt, the longest putt anyone made all weekend to win the U.S. Open. Now, that is a phenomenal display of dad strength on Father's Day.
Yeah, I always say that Father's Day is the most underappreciated and shortest
That's a fact.
holiday out there. It goes by so fast, and for him to do what he needed to do as a dad, maybe he was a little bit sleepwalking in the front nine, but he had some bad luck too, a couple bad lies.
That one that hit off the flag and bounced 60 yards back.
Hit another one off of the sprinkler head, but I think also the reset really helped him. And then obviously, to be honest with you, he started the U.S. Open with a 64, so he was ball striking really good. I think also it's a better testament to perseverance. He said 9 months ago he was contemplating retiring.
Yeah,
and he watched a movie about a tennis player that was in the same position, came back and won Wimbledon. And so really the willingness not to give up not only allowed him to lose to Rory in the Players' Championship, right, in the playoff, right, but get there. But then also to keep at it and then not give up when you face an embarrassment. You start out your championship Sunday with 5 straight bogeys, and then what did he do? 3, 3, 3. Good night. And then I'm going to sink the longest putt in U.S. Open history to win. Well-deserved and a great testament to him and intestinal fortitude.
Eric on our text line is chiming in. He's hitting Jay with a pause, not Stricky. So welcome to the club, Jay. You got hit with a pause. Let's get to Cubsker. He says, either way, Cleveland doesn't know how to keep quarterbacks or make them good. Baker's the only quarterback to leave the Browns and stay solid, and I'd even argue he's way better now. To be fair, Baker had that separated shoulder at the end of his tenure in Cleveland. But I think the bigger point still stands. Maybe Cleveland has a plan, and you can give them credit for thinking ahead. But maybe Cleveland's just bad at drafting quarterbacks, and they'll go 0 for 2. That's just as likely.
Yeah, they better have a plan, because there's a lot of pressure. Stefanski's probably on a little bit of the hot seat, same with the GM and Joe Barry and everybody else. And there's a lot of pressure because they do have talent. They're not like a team that's injury-ridden or a lack of talent. And quarterback's the glamorous position, and you're bringing in a high-profile quarterback. Dylan Gabriel, has been in college for about 80 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Joe Flacco, trying to do his thing, resurrect his career, and then you traded for Kenny Pickett. So you got plenty of options. Kevin Stefanski is an offensive-minded coach. Therefore, he is expected to make chicken salad out of you-know-what. Whether Shedeur Sanders or a combination of guys, you got to make it happen, and we'll see what Cleveland does.
Yeah, and on top of that, when you think about this whole Cleveland situation as well, there's the thing that is kind of mulled over a little bit due to injury, and that's the Deshaun Watson debacle.
Yeah.
So as you said, there's a hot seat.
Yeah.
And it's smoking.
Yeah.
And so they need to have a splash play. Not that you listen to the outside noise or you're moved by the fans or the media or whatever the case is. But at some point, you're going to have to make a splash. And sometimes it's a situation and what's going on. The decision you make, if you hit, it can change the whole narrative on the debacle that you're still trying to get outside of with that fully guaranteed contract that you gave to the parlor Panda.
Yeah, and then obviously him being injured also. I think the best thing that could happen is a combination. I don't think he was in the parlors. He was like, come on. He'd be out there on Cash Street. I think the biggest thing right now is in order to lessen that bad move as other quarterbacks are starting to ascend, whether it's Jaden Daniels and other quarterbacks or Baker Mayfield down in Tampa is really taking over that franchise. You have a sign of life in the quarterback position. Any move that you make with Deshaun Watson, whether it's eating the contract, trying to take him to arbitration, trying to find some dumb team to trade for him and maybe lose some draft picks, right? That's right. That ain't happening, but so if you got to eat that contract, and maybe that's what they're hoping.
They're hoping injury continues to happen. Maybe they can get an insurance.
But they're hoping the 3rd round pick or 5th round pick ends up being their starter because it lessens the impact in your room.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to give Dylan Gabriel first every chance possible to be the starter, and then Shedeur Sanders has got to continue to chop wood and become the starter.
5297 says, "I'm from Cleveland. There is no plan." Probably fair with the way that's
probably fair.
That sounds like the Matrix. There's no spoon.
This is a team that was willing to let Myles Garrett Walker trade him, and then said, "Oh, we probably play, top 5 defensive player in the NFL some money."
Yeah, I mean it's Cleveland's a franchise, and I would say this: there's about 8 to 10 franchises generally. Out of that 10, there's probably about 6.5 that are actively really trying to win, and then you sprinkle in a couple guys or a couple franchises that have really been trying to get active and do it. I think a lot of other teams, especially in the bottom third of the league, right? So that's like anywhere from 22 to 32. They're just playing dress up as far as, being an NFL franchise and actively trying to win. Some of it's circumstance, some of it is ownership, some of it's leadership. But Cleveland, over the history, has really, really squandered a ton of opportunities. But more recent history, the lack of hiring practices, who's running it. You go all the way back to when Mike Holmgren came in as essentially the czar, then let Jim Brown in the building. First, then Bernie Kosar was involved, and he kicked him out. They just need to find a plan and get it there because you really do have some talent. I mean, they've had Joe Thomas. They've had Alex Mack. They got a really good offensive line right now. You got a good defense right now. You just need to get the quarterback position right or formidable, or it'll be just another decade of Cleveland misery that we all love to talk about.
I really like to see a Pope Leo jersey walking around. A Chicago White Sox fan did get the Pope jersey, which is pretty funny. One last thing from Cubsker, and then we'll take a break and wrap things up after this. He says, question for y'all, why on earth would the Bulls look at extending Billy Donovan? Of course, the Knicks made some offers to him, tried to contact him, but Stricky, why would the Bulls attempt to extend Billy Donovan?
See, this is the thing also about certain players, but it also happens within coaches, right? Who else is out there you're going to go get? You can't go back there and get Tibbs again
No.
because he's already been there and he got ousted for a specific reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think coaches like Mike Malone and the likes of them, Budenholzer,
too hard.
They're gonna look at the right situation for them, and I think they look at that as still kind of a debacle. They ain't been right since they messed up with Derrick Rose and
Well, guess who did that?
Tibbs.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So this is a hard time for them. So what do you go out there and get? Either you can get him to do what Jay said, get you the homie lover discount, or you gotta go with what you know. Who else out there? That's the key. Is there a good assistant out there that you can take a chance on? You as Chicago is not in a good position, I don't think, to go that route. Otherwise, you're basically just kind of throwing in the towel and, looking at it from that standpoint.
Mike Brown?
Too
Nick?
tough.
Too tough?
He's too passive.
Okay. Sam
Too
Cassell.
passive.
We're on the radio. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Search for 93.7 The Ticket. Give us a like, and you can take a T-shirt. If you're a Blur, that's the drill. Let's go ahead and go to break. We'll wrap things up from Blur for On the Block. Another hour of old school, though, coming up momentarily on The Ticket.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through June 24th are $1 off ground beef, 15% off on aprons, 15% off Cornhead beer, and buy one, get one 50% off on brats and hot dogs, limit 2. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with, and we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before, and it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Play ball! Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes tickets to Michigan or USC, plus Akron or Houston Christian, and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red!
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
A smoke-free environment is the only way to fully protect from the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's why smoke-free policies are so important to me. Whether it's in my car, apartment building, or when I'm dining outdoors, there's no place for secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosol. Breathe easier knowing the facts. Visit smokefree.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Country music star Rodney Atkins will be performing at the Icebox on Friday, June 20th. Tickets start at $30 and doors open at 7 p.m. The capacity is only 3,000, so don't wait. Buy your tickets at LincolnStars.com today before it sells out. Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Early break.
Getting after it.
So you're getting coffeed up at the mill?
Yeah, so I walk over to people.
Would you be willing to come on every day? Is there something that you'd be able to do?
You know what? Actually, I got a lot of things to say.
If you please every Friday, at least before a game, Coach, we'd love to have you. It'd be a riot.
With Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Back one final time for On the Block from Blur. Big shout out to Love Volleyball Omaha for sponsoring the final segment of our show. Got some Love representation in the building here at Blur today. Nice to see the great folks from Love out and about here. Fellas, one thing here before we make our NBA Finals picks for the night. Obviously, you think about LSU, right? Big thanks again to Patrick Coogan for coming on, chatting some ball with us. Would you rather start your NFL franchise with Joe Burrow or your MLB franchise with Paul Skeens?
Oh, man, that's tough. I'll go Joe Burrow. He's won championships before. I know Skeens has won, right?
Yeah, they both won a college national championship at LSU.
You know what? I'm gonna change it. I'll go Paul Skeens.
Me too, bro.
I'll go Paul Skeens. He's got a little bit of more edge to him. He just seems like he's like the modern day version of Roger Clemens without all the nonsense, without the Balco.
What's the one to? There's another one that's on the way. He throws like 105, but he's got some net. I sent it to you today. I sent that picture to you today.
Oh, yeah. What's his? Yeah.
He got some nasty work. Oh, my God. I just looked at some of the, like, his stuff is so good that it looks the same. He throws like a 92-mile-an-hour slider.
Yeah.
And like a 90-mile-an-hour changeup on 107. Like, there's some nasty work. And he stretches out to you halfway like
Randy
Johnson used to. Oh man, yeah. I can't remember his name, but I sent it to Austin for that specific reason. He's coming.
Yeah.
So you're both locked in on Skeens?
I like Skeens.
I'll probably say reluctantly. I'll say Skeens. I think Joe Burrow's got championship DNA. I just wonder. I don't know. Maybe durability or just a little bit of the. Once he went to Paris Fashion Week, I probably was like, yeah.
Checked out on him. See, the durability piece is why I might actually lean Joe Burrow. I think Paul Skeens is a better pitcher than Joe Burrow is a quarterback, and they're both very good. Don't get me wrong. Skeens hasn't had Tommy John yet. You're going to miss a year with him at some point. As big as he is, as durable as he is, we know the rules around quarterbacks in the NFL. Those aren't going anywhere. So even if I think that Joe Burrow is a slightly lesser player than Paul Skeens is, I think I can probably count on him to be more available.
Well, there's something to know. There's something to know. while you're talking about that, and I'm going to let you guys stay with the context of the discussion. But Ohtani is about to start pitching again. Like he's gonna start again. So
do you like that? Do you think you should have called it quits on pitching?
Well, we talked about that. We said that you can minimize it and use it in situations and situationally or with injury. There's to keep and preserve him, but we'll see. I think that's pretty cool that he's going to get back out there.
He has not pitched as a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
No.
The last time he pitched was, funny enough, in LA, but with the Angels in 2023. Yeah. They'll start ramping him up. He's got an inning or two tonight as he makes the start against the Padres. And that's going to be really interesting to monitor. Maybe he lines up to appear on the mound against the Royals on our airwaves here coming up in just a couple weeks. But that's going to be really interesting to see. I'm going to throw this out there. Despite how good Shohei Ohtani was as a pitcher, right? Lights out, electric kind of stuff. Yeah. I think this is more situational for the Dodgers than anything. They have had so many guys from their pitching staff hit the injured list so far this year that I think in the Dodgers' ideal world, Shohei wouldn't be back pitching till after the All-Star break. Even if he does have superhuman recovery, even if he is, one of their better pitchers on the team, yeah, that's why you go get him, you let him throw. But I think not that he's being rushed, but I think this is the early end of his timeline just because of injury. So then if you're the Dodgers and you're Shohei, you better hope it doesn't go south and you jeopardize his hitting ability again.
Yeah, you'd think you'd like to say, well, he's such a potentially iconic player and you obviously paid a king's ransom to get him, that you would always use caution, especially with something that you're really paying him for. So I think that for the Dodgers, I think you could trade or find a temporary pitcher or just challenge guys to kind of make up for the lost innings. But if you're going to throw him out there based on what you see, like in a controlled environment, knowing that his bat is the ultimate equalizer, and you've seen it here before, I think it could be a catastrophic mistake.
We'll have to see. He makes the return to the mound tonight against the Padres. All right, Game 5, Pacers Thunder. Stricky, who you taking?
It's going 7.
But who are you taking tonight?
I'm going to go with my boy. He thinks that OKC wins by 15.
15? Ooh, and the return home. Okay, Jay?
I'm going to go OKC. I think your boy Scott Foster really did a company line there.
The minute I saw him in the game, Jay, I said,
you heard what Rick Carlisle said, though. What? Rick Carlisle came to bat for Scott Foster. Said he's a great official, has an unfair reputation.
Yeah.
So give the guy a break.
He trying to get that call. He trying to get that call when he needed. That's smart. That's smart business. That's a smart business decision.
Yeah, I think OKC is going to defend their home court. And then I think, like Strick said, I think it's going 7. I think they're actually going to let him play in the Game 7.
I do not. Thunder in 6. I'm sticking with my prediction.
I'm said 5. You said 5.
I said watch out for 6. You know it.
Cap.
You can find it on the podcast. Go back to Game 1. You can find it. I said that.
He was pulling his imitation
on me.
Shannon Sharp
of the Shannon.
Yeah.
OKC 5. That's what he was saying.
Come on.
That's what he said.
All right, then final game we're going to make picks for before we get out of here. LSU and UCLA tonight. Do you like the Tigers? Do you like the Bruins?
I'm grateful for the word, but I gotta roll Big Ten. UCLA.
I'm going UCLA. I was a little surprised that LSU got pushed to the brinks in their super regional. And so I think they rode that momentum against Arkansas, plus a familiar foe. I think UCLA is kind of like Oregon State. I think these guys are going to sneakily under the radar, been really consistent. I think UCLA is going to win tonight.
I think it's setting up for LSU. They're in the bottom of the bracket. I think having Arkansas with 1 loss, someone's going to have to beat LSU twice. If UCLA doesn't beat them today, I am all but Sharpieing LSU into the championship series. So we'll get out of here on that note. We'll be back here at Blur, of course, tomorrow and Wednesday for On the Block. We also got an hour of old school coming your way. Thanks to the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese for their sponsorship of On the Block. For Jay and for Strick, I'm Austin. That's it for On the Block. Old school comes your way in just a second.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing